What is going on, guys? It's your boy CJ and I'm back again with another Division video. I know I haven't uploaded in quite a while. I've just been chilling. Honestly, 1.6.1 was getting pretty boring and stale because, you know, we'll just kind of sitting around waiting for 1.7 to just show up. So that's kind of, I didn't quit or anything like that. I was just kind of taking the break so I wouldn't get actually bored of the game or pissed off to the point where I actually just quit it. So with that being said, 1.7 is here. I'm back with new content. There's gonna be a lot of new content coming to my channel, so definitely stay tuned. I'm gonna be uploading twice as much more than I have been uploading before in the last batches and stuff, so definitely just get ready for the grind because it's gonna be real. I have a lot of builds, so without further ado, let's get right into this build. So before I get into it, I just want to point out that the Ninja Bike backpack was changed for people who do not understand what it is. Now that they changed it, basically, if you have, like, let's say my 3-piece Alpha Bridge here, it would look like 3-piece to anyone else, but it's actually 4 because of the Ninja Bike backpack. It's basically a wild card. So even if you have 1 piece of Banshee, it will count as 2 as long as you have a Ninja Bike backpack. So if you don't have one of these backpacks, get one, farm one, it's worth it. If you want the full effect of 1.7's build diversity, you definitely want to get your hands on one. Just want to point that out. So that being said, let's get right into the main build. So as I said, I'm using 4-piece Alpha Bridge and 3-piece Banshee. The reason I use this, the 3-piece Banshee gives me the 10% damage to targets out of cover, and the 4-piece Alpha Bridge gives me the 4 talents, of course, and the 5% extra weapon damage, which is basically 15% more damage to my build when you add it up with the Banshee 3-piece. So that is why I do that. It's incredible for PvP. It just completely shreds the players. So with that being said, let's get into the weapons first. Before I get into that, I want to point out that this is a build for team play and last stand. This is not a solo player build like I mainly be posting most of the time. I do, of course, run solo most of the time, so most of my builds are for solo players, but this batch I will be putting out more builds like this, and I did get a lot of requests from 1.6.1. My first couple builds were geared towards teams, so I am going to be making more builds towards people that are into the whole team play and all that stuff and not just be a little solo loser. So with that being said, let's get into my weapons. I'm using a lightweight M4 with 21.1k base damage. It's got Deadly, Adept, Compt, and the Force talent from Alpha Bridge is Unforgiving. Now if you don't want to use Adept and you want to just have raw damage instead of crits, you can take off Adept and then put Responsive, and that will work out as well. You'll get to 10% while I think 15 or 10 meters within your target, and you'll always have that up instead of having to pop a skill to get Adept. But Adept is good, it does work, it helps with your AR hit a lot more crits, so it does work out in the end. But if you do want just raw damage, then of course taking Adept off and putting Responsive will be better, or even maybe Deadly for Responsive, but whichever works for you, just mix and match and see what works for you. So that being said, I'm going to go into my mods. I normally don't, but since it's a new patch, let's just do it up. I'm using a C79 scope with crit damage, crit chance, and headshot damage. My magazine is an extended mag with magazine size, crit damage, and rate of fire. My underbarrel is a small grip red with crit damage, optimal range, and reload speed, and I use a large suppressor FDE with crit damage, headshot damage, and crit chance. The reason I use a large suppressor FDE instead of a loud vent break like normal is because it's kind of situational, but bear with me, it does work sometimes. Is the reduced threat that you get from having a suppressor versus a loud break or a loud vent break is very, very impactful in some situations. Basically, if you have a lot more negative threat, then NPCs are less likely to target you. Let's say if I'm 1v1ing someone in a situation or something and there's NPCs, that person that's using a loud vent break will end up taking more of the NPC aggro versus me, and that can be used to my advantage while playing solo or whatever. So as well as you can actually use that advantage to just run into enemies and then just keep running away, and they will usually just de-aggro to the person that's shooting at you, so because they have a low vent break. So keep that in mind. It is a good tactic to use. It is situational. Sometimes it just doesn't work, honestly, because of course it's massive. But with that being said, it is something that Massive could look into and maybe make it work a bit more efficient. But however, that's why I use it, just for those that do ask me why. So let's get into my gear. I'm using a Banshee Shadow Armor, roll into firearms with health and health on kill, and my attribute is ammo capacity. and it's got 2 firearms mods rolling to health. Now ideally I would have skill haste, but because it's last stand, honestly I do think skill haste is efficient everywhere, but honestly in last stand so easy to just kill off players, especially when you just melt agents. It's kind of hard to just say put health on killer skill haste, but you can go with either. I would recommend skill haste for lower skill cooldowns just for that sake. So definitely if you feel like you want lower cooldowns, get more skill haste. That's all I gotta say. I don't have a lot of skill haste on this build at all because this is just my build for just shredding players inside the last stand. So definitely where you can get skill haste, try to invest in it without losing too much else. My Alpha Bridge mask is rolled into electronics with skill power, and it's got a electronics mod rolled into health. Now if you want your AR to hit a bit harder instead of your pulse hitting a bit harder, you can invest into crit chance for the major attribute instead of skill power. And if you want more just damage from the build, you can re-roll this into firearms. And it's not the most efficient. Your heal will be way too small, that's why I don't do that. I try to stay a bit more well-rounded in my builds, but you can do that if you just want flat out DPS, so keep that in mind. My Alpha Bridge knee pads roll into firearms with all resistance. Just forget all resistance is there. You don't want this at all for any reason. It's such a useless stat. You want health or even skill power. Recommended health. You will have a bigger health pool. This build is entirely just extremely squishy without that health pool there. It is a bit troubling without it, but of course it does work if you can make it work. But yeah, the health here will definitely help you a lot more. So just keep that in mind. It's got a firearms mod rolled into health and first aid self-heal mod. My Ninja Bike backpack is rolled into firearms with health and bleed resistance as its minor attribute. You're going to want ammo capacity ideally, and it's got a firearms mod rolled into health with 2 first aid self-heal mods. My gloves are rolled into firearms with crit damage, assault rifle damage, and crit chance. My Alpha Bridge holster is rolled into skill haste, and that's pretty much it. Also for the gloves, you can put skill haste instead of assault rifle damage if you feel like getting lower cooldowns. The only places I would recommend getting the skill haste if you don't want to take away too much health from your build is on the gloves, on the holster, and on the chest piece. That's where you can get skill haste and you don't have to invest into too much skill haste mods on the actual gear slot mods. So keep that in mind. So let's go into the abilities and whatnot. So my pulse gives me 13 crit chance and 13 crit damage with 32-second cooldown. Of course this will be lower if you have better skill haste. My overdose healed me for 130k, which isn't bad, and it has a 48-second cooldown, which is pretty bad, not gonna lie. You can use boosted shot, I wouldn't recommend it, but it kills me for 78k, which is just awful, and it has a 43-second cooldown, so I would just use the overdose. Honestly, it's not worth it just for the extra damage. It's really not, unless you invest more electronics into this build, then perhaps, but I mean, each his own. My talents are critical save, strike back, precision, and on the move. And that's pretty much it for the build. I'm gonna go into my main stats. As you guys can see, 11 crit chance off base. This goes up to, once you add the 2 adept stacks from my pulse and my heal, and then adept, I will be at around 40, which is pretty good for the AR. I mean, it's not max crit chance, but it's something. And if you can see, the skill haste is low. Health at 194, you can get this to 210 plus with a good health roll on the knee pads. And that's pretty much it for the build. It hits really hard, it's very good in team play. I'm being extremely spammed by people, I don't know why, but just it works just really well. So with that being said, use this smart, just make sure your aim's on point and just melt people. It's such a good build. You can also, if you feel like you need stability, you can roll stability onto your backpack. I know that people do that, but I wouldn't recommend it, but it's something that you can do if you feel like your gun isn't stable enough. But I find that M4 is pretty stable. So that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if this works for you. If you guys need any help on Xbox, build help, even suggestions that you guys want me to try out with builds and stuff. I'm making a lot of different builds and stuff this patch. There are so many different combos, guys, so I implore you guys to try every type of combo that you can. There are so much different ways to work builds. Don't just use one damn build the whole patch. That's kind of sad, honestly, if you run one build the entire patch with so many different build options. But with that being said, if you guys need help, my gamer tag, you guys already know what it is in the description below. Add me up, you can play, whatever. And that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, leave in the comment section below. If this helped you, leave a like, and if you're new, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. It's been your boy, and I'm out. Peace.